This is part 2 of the Castlevania obscure titles, and I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. I'm gonna attempt to film the TV and then switch right over to filming my Android phone, because I want to show you 3 different versions of Dracula X Rondo of Blood. First off, I'm going to go into a game that deeply disappointed me back in the day when I rented it. This game was touted as being the next Castlevania in many magazines. Nintendo Power even pretty much mentioned it was a Castlevania style game. I rented it and I was extremely disappointed. This is one of my least favorite Nintendo games. I mean, maybe one day I'll give it another shot, but I was just disappointed at this. From pictures, you think this could be very well a Castlevania game, but the moment you start playing it, it is just utter garbage. Everything about it speaks AVGN, Angry Video Game Nerd. I'm not sure if he did a video on this game, but it's just a terrible game. Like, it's not even intuitive on how to get through the doors. I'm on the first screen. Normally you'd push up, down. I'm pushing all buttons and there's like nothing getting me through the door. Just stupid ass game. Oh, there's a switch right to the right of the door. Since when did you have to do that in a Castlevania game? Just god awful game, and let's just say when I rented this, I didn't play it very long. I don't see any reason to even continue playing this, so we're going to go to another game. I showed you Vampire Master of Darkness in my last video. Just for the record, this is on Game Gear. It was also released only in Europe on the Sega Master System. So you have that one to play as well. I'm going to briefly go into Castlevania Dracula X, which is the worst of the Dracula X versions, and it was on Super Nintendo. Not a bad game. I mean, if you're thinking of like a correlation and the metaphor of having vanilla ice cream all your life and that's all you have, then yeah, it's good. But the moment you realize there's chocolate and strawberry and all these other flavors, then you're going to realize it's really not that great. Compared to Super Castlevania 4, this is just a dud. As a standalone game, if you're unaware of the other Dracula X games, ain't so bad, but I'm aware of them, so unfortunately this game is not that great. This is also a pretty expensive game due to its rarity. See, it looks like it could be decent, you know, good music, and let me turn it up just a little bit. Decent graphics, decent music, but it's really a piss-poor port of the Turbografx-CD version. Now I'm going to switch over, and this is going to be a little bit disconcerting at first because I'm going to try to do this as seamlessly as I can. I'm going to move my I'm using one phone to record another phone, basically. I'm kind of like stockpiled on Android phones because they really are great for emulation. Anyways, we're gonna quit this for right now, and we're gonna try to move over to my other device real quick. And see how good I can get this as quick as I can. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to fiddle too much and waste too much time in the video. Like I said, I'd like to have my videos be unscripted. I hate to do crazy editing, and I think it's entertainment if somebody goofs up. It could be a fail in a way. Anyways, I have this, you can't really see it too well, but I have a Moga controller here. This is what I use for my gaming. And I'm going to open up my PC Engine emulator on my phone, and I'm going to open up Dracula X Rondo of Blood on Turbografx-CD. Looks like I had to kind of stop the video because I ran out of memory on my SD card. Anyways, I'm using the Moga controller here. And you can't see it too well because I'm limited here. I'm going into my PCE emulator. I have my Dracula X Rondo of Blood on there for Turbografx-CD. And I just showed you this game on Super Nintendo, and there's a tremendous difference between the two. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm playing this off my Android phone. That's really what I do most of my emulation on. I even stream this to my TV using a Fire Stick. You just have to have a pretty good close proximity or Ethernet connection to your router, and it works without too much lag. After I beat the Grim Reaper, you get to see exactly what the first part of Dracula X Super Nintendo is in comparison to this. Look, you even have speech of the villains. That's really cool. This game generally runs like between $60 and $100 if you try to buy an import of it. Now we're getting to the town area, just like in the Super Nintendo version. And I mean, it's just a big difference. Music's better, graphics is better. There's less of a choppiness factor to it. And on top of that, you actually can unlock a character named Maria, which she has a flying dove. She was also in the MMORPG side-scroller Castlevania that was on PS3. I played that for a bit too. This looks a lot like Castlevania 2 here. You see, obviously, this is a great game, and one of the best soundtracks ever. Game's great, and it was never released in the United States other than that crappy-ass Super Nintendo version. Now, I'm going to show you one other thing that may surprise you that a lot of people aren't aware of on one of my other emulators. I have a PSP emulator, and I have Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles. Not only does this have unlockable versions of Symphony of the Night, as well as the game I just played on Turbografx-CD, but it has a remastered version of it with better graphics and updated music and all of that. But I believe the Symphony of the Night that you unlock even contains the missing levels that were not in the PlayStation 1 version, that were only on the Sega Saturn version. And you have to do something in the second level as far as a mini-boss, to get to the unlockables. But you can look that up on GameFAQs or any other site. I already have the other version, so I never really went through the time to unlock them. I just play the remaster on here. I play Symphony of the Night on PlayStation or PlayStation 3, PSP, etc. And then, of course, I played Dracula X Rondo of Blood on Turbografx-CD. But here's the remastered version. And look, even cooler looking than the Turbografx-CD version. So you see a true evolution from utter crap on Super Nintendo to genius on Turbografx-CD to this pretty damn cool looking remaster. Obviously my preference is the Turbografx-CD version because that's really what I remember the most, but this is cool to play. I love what they did with this. Anyways, you can buy this on PSP. You could download it on your VITA. I mean, it's a great game to play. Hope you enjoyed the video, and there'll be more to come.